Hey everybody, it's Megan and welcome back to Storytime Saturday. So for today's Storytime Saturday, I'm going to share with you guys the story of how I had placenta previa. Now, if you are somebody who gets a little squeamish with the idea of birth or female body or anything like that, you might not want to watch this. I'm not going to get too gruesome. I'm not going to show any pictures or anything, but I'm just going to share the story of placenta previa. Share my story of what happened to me, what went down, and all that kind of stuff, because I know that it was scary for me and I just want to help anybody that needs to hear this and is going through the same thing. Maybe this will help you. So I'm just going to share my story, try to make it as quick as possible. And I have mentioned it before, but this is going to go a little bit more into detail. So if you guys have not followed my journey, I have two little boys. I have an almost 3-year-old Liam and I have a son who just turned 1, Nolan. And I developed, placenta previa with my second pregnancy. Now, I had no idea how common it was. I will leave any statistics down below if I can find any, but this is kind of just more about my story. So placenta previa, if you don't know what that is, you have your cervix and you have your placenta, which is what feeds the baby. Now, in a completely normal pregnancy, like my first one, placenta is as far away from that cervix as possible, how it sticks to the uterine wall. So with Liam, it was in front and way up high. Well, with Nolan, pretty soon, we knew he was a boy. I can't remember the exact week that they found out. Obviously I probably had it before, but sometimes with those ultrasounds, they can't really tell anything right away. So at least by my anatomy scan, they knew that my placenta was really low. Well, they didn't realize just how low it was. So I had to go in for another ultrasound just to look kind of at that. And they found out that my cervix was here. My placenta was not completely over it, because that is complete placenta previa. That means your cervix is completely covered. That can be very, very dangerous for you and the baby. You can bleed a lot. It can just be really bad. So thank goodness mine was touching it. It was kind of sitting just on the edge of it. Well, that meant that every single month from that point on, I needed a ultrasound to make sure that as my uterus got bigger, that the placenta was moving. Now, it is very common, I guess. Everyone that I talked to was like, oh yeah, that happened to me once. Oh yeah, that happened to me once. And I was like, why didn't I know this before? So a lot of them they move and the doctor doesn't even tell you. But this one, since it was touching my cervix, I think that's why she told me. She really scared me, which is not good, but I was not allowed to pick Liam up. I was not allowed to do no sexual activity. There was no messing anything up down there. And I have mentioned this in a few different times pertaining to Nolan, but yes, I had it. I had to take it easy. And every single month they would tell me, oh, it's moved a little bit. Oh, it's moved a little bit. Not oh, it's gotten out of the way. Yay, you're in the clear. So that entire rest of my pregnancy from 20 weeks on, I thought I was going to have a C-section. I was terrified of bleeding. I was terrified of anything bad happening to my baby. So they would tell me to make sure that I wasn't bleeding. I had to keep track of anything going on down there. And every month, like I said, they would give me a check. And sure enough, it moved out of the way. I'm lucky that it did move out of the way, at least enough to have a vaginal delivery. I didn't have to have a C-section with Nolan. So I am grateful that it wasn't a complete previa. It was just touching and it did move out of the way. I want to let you guys know that it is common. It can happen. And I have a feeling that is why I bled so much after. I hemorrhaged with Nolan when I gave birth. Nothing horrible, just enough to kind of scare everybody. But I have a feeling that's why. I don't think that placenta got out of the way enough, but he came and he's healthy, so that's really all that matters. I was very careful with my situation. I made sure that nothing bad was happening, and the doctors did keep track of me, and it was really awesome. I got to see my baby every single month in an ultrasound, but it was scary. It was very, very scary. So next pregnancy, that's going to be the first thing on my mind is where's the placenta, because it's really scary, and you don't want your whole birth plan, you don't want that messed up. But I had a healthy baby in the end. That is just my story about placenta previa. If you guys want any other more personal stories like this, leave me comments down below. Like I said, I will leave any links that I that I can find about this topic down below because it is so common. And yeah, I hope you guys are having an amazing day. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, leave me a comment, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.